Hi, today I'm going to do a body review and a bit of a comparison and listing of my new XagaDoll quarter scale type B female body. The type B body is the more mature body, and I got her with extra heeled legs. So I'm going to listing them for my normal legs. So regarding the heeled legs, these shoes are also from XagaDoll. There's the logo, and they're specifically made for the high heel feet, but they don't exactly fit all that well. Well, getting it on the foot is fine. They just have a pretty big gap, and the toes don't go all the way in, and when you try to make a stand with them, it's a bit difficult. So that's weird, since the shoes are made for these legs. And now the type B body and the type A body for the quarter scale XagaDoll body, female bodies, use the same heeled legs. Why? These are the normal legs. When you compare in like this, you can see a pretty big difference. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what this is about, but I'm sure between the two bodies there's only one pair of heeled legs which can work for both. So I assume that it was originally meant for the less mature, shorter body, although it doesn't quite make sense. Anyway, so like I said, she stands. It's pretty difficult to stand with the heeled legs. So and smooth, and that kind of has a creamy texture to it. And it's also very matte compared to my long sole body. At this point, my long sole body might just be shinier compared to most of my dolls. The heeled legs only has posability at the knees, which is going to be the same as the normal legs, and we'll get to that. Size wise, she's all around quite chunky compared to my long sole body. Even though she doesn't quite look like it from the front. If you look from the sides, you can see she has a bit more heft. Height-wise, her heeled legs make her about 1.5 centimeters shorter, but with her normal legs, according to the company measurements, she's supposed to be 44 centimeters with a head, but she is supposed to be 42.5. If you put them heel to heel, you can see that this body, at least shoulder-wise, is about a bit more than 1 centimeter taller. So that measurement is more or less correct, but we'll have to see when I get her head and see how that works out. So starting from the top, the posability. We don't have a head here, so I can't check the head. And then she doesn't have a torso joint, but she has, so we can let's do that so we don't have to compare. So forward slouching, you have to pull quite hard to pull it out, and it doesn't look very nice from the back, and from the front it's that far. Okay. Then arcing her back, okay, about that far, and it looks much better, although there's a gap. Side to side, quite a bit. There isn't really mid-ground, but if you tie hard enough, you'll be able to get a middle point. There isn't a mid-ground for arcing backwards because there isn't slips, and for slouching, there's only that one setting. Okay, shoulders. She has a regular ball joint in the shoulders, all the way around, up, down. She doesn't go up 80 degrees. But not naturally anyway. You can hold it there. And she needs some threading because this arm doesn't really hold poses all that well. Compared to my long sole body, she has some ledges which can help keep her arm at an angle. Elbow joints, they look quite similar, but the long sole elbow joint has a ball on top and a square-ish ledge on the bottom. And the square ledge you can pull out to pose, and she can go all the way. And this, since the top is a ball, she can twist in the socket. The elbows here, on the other hand, even though they look similar, kind of act similar, they have a ledge which keeps them in place, but not a ledge that you have to pull hard on. So the first bend is less than 90 degrees, and the second bend is about 130 degrees. She doesn't go all the way, and if you want to move, get a bit of rotation, you have to pull the joint out a bit. I don't know if it's the stringing or if it's the design of the joint that makes it easy to do. Okay, Next up, the wrists. This far forwards and this far back, or inwards. It's a pretty natural range of motion. Naturally, we have that complete twist or turn. It has less motion than my long sole girl's hands. Go all the way that way and all the way that way, but that's a bit less natural. Comparing them to each other, their wrists are about the same size, and the XagaDoll body hand looks a bit smaller, but they're actually about the same size. This long sole body has longer, thinner fingers. But these hands look more mature and elegant. Okay. Next up, the hip joint. So we have a pretty nice looking hip joint, and there's our elastic channel. It's an L shape. So when she stands, we have the elastic in the top of the L, and when you bend the leg, it goes into the other part of the L, which oddly enough causes the leg to twist. So instead of it simply going like this, we go like this, which is kind of realistic considering when the person sits, their body mass goes flat and moves to the sides, however you want to call that. She doesn't have much rotation here. She can't split. She can't split backwards either, just sitting. It's an interesting design, but it works, although it makes standing poses a bit harder because the legs don't want to move apart compared to this girl. And just like that. Next we have the thigh mobility joint. She can turn all the way around. It makes it pretty easy to get some other poses, and it's simply like that inside. It does show the elastic can go forwards and can go back. I'm not sure why you'd want to do this pose, but it's possible. It looks weird though. And she can hold her knees like this, and it's not too hard to pull it out. Okay, so down to the knees. The high heel legs has the same joint as the same knee joint. So we have the first bend slightly less than 90 degrees, and the second bend all the way, but due to the shape of her leg, her ankles are not touching her bum. And also, you can't use a weight to get her to sit completely flat on her knees. Well, she can sit, but she's a bit sitting in the air with this gap. And there is, on the top of the knee joint, we have a channel which hooks in and controls the motion of the top of the leg. And at the bottom we only have a small ledge at the back of the knee. And that's the knees. The ankles can turn all the way around, go forwards all the way, and go backwards almost to the ledge, which is a tad odd. No, slight swivel side to side, and this ledge, I'm not sure what it's there for. It's not a separate piece, it's just there, and it's pretty obvious, but it more or less indicates the range of motion. her legs, her knees have something similar. I mean, her ankles have something similar, but a bit more prettier. Although her calves are a bit chunkier. So that's for the comparison. There's in tone. These are the underwear she came with. Actually meant for boys, but it fits her just as well, which is almost pure white. And she's in the white skin tone, and she's really pale. Her resin has a slightly yellowish tint, and unfortunately gets dirty pretty easily. She is in the long soul normal yellow skin, which, as you can see, is quite a bit darker. So moving that out of the way, let's take a look at some details on her body. Her hands, some really nicely sculpted nails and fingers, nice details. If not for the fact that I hate body blushing, I would have definitely thought of giving her a super nice manicure on these nails. Okay. Her arms have a pretty natural curve, delicate and dainty and elegant, but nothing particular. The torso sculpting is very nice, not super detailed, but still very pretty. And pretty natural. So we have the rib cage indicated there, the belly button, a bit of muscle on the belly, as you can see, only a slight bit, more than she has anyway. We have some indications of her hips, nice curve on the side, and at the back, not much to say about the butt crack, but the jointing makes it look quite aesthetically pleasing. And she has some nice dimples and a well-shaped back, a hint of the shoulder blades, a hint of the spine over there, the base of the neck. And the clavicle is also quite pretty, a lot more defined than what she has. The legs also quite. It has a pretty shape, and it's more shapely than my long sole body, but nothing particularly special. You have a bit of a knee, and the feet completely flat. The long sole body is also completely flat, but the foot overall is quite a bit bigger, even though the longest measurements are the same. The feet is pretty much flat on the bottom, which helps with standing a lot. Hers is the same. But I have my XagaDoll boy, which has very detailed feet of all the shapes and whatever, and that is probably part of the reason why he's not easy to make standing. It's not easy to make him stand. Okay. And that's pretty much all. She has quite a bit of natural posing. If that's too much style. She has some nice nails. Anyway, hopefully her head gets here soon, and then I'll do the character introduction maybe. Thanks for watching. Bye.